I've been an artist my entire life. I grew up drawing, painting, sculpting, big Legos kid, and I got my passion for storytelling from my dad. He's a really good storyteller. And I knew I wanted to study animation when I saw the first Toy Story film. I was like, ooh, Dad, I gotta do that, that's so cool. And then beginning of 2002, I started to feel like something wasn't quite right with me physically. I'd been a competitive swimmer my whole life, so I knew what I was supposed to feel like. And it wasn't like, oh, my shoulder kind of hurts, it's like a general blah feeling. But by August, they still hadn't figured out what was wrong with me, and I had lost 50 pounds and had sunken cheeks and eyes. I was really pale, started to get really bad headaches. So my parents took me for an MRI up in Walnut Creek. And we were waiting around for another appointment when my pediatrician called and said he's going to drive up from Pleasanton to come talk with us. When we saw him walking up with this big envelope in his hands, you could tell he'd been crying. And he brought us into a little side meeting room. And I remember I was sitting knee to knee with him in this big U-shaped chair with really high armrests, kind of leaning forward. And he pulled out the results of the MRI and showed me I had 2 brain tumors. And it felt like I got punched in the chest. I actually moved backwards in my chair. And for the next 2 weeks, everything sounded like the adults from Peanuts, just kind of womp, 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 because never had the flu, never broken any major bones, never been stung by a bee. I'm pretty sure I've never been bitten by a mosquito. So to get brain tumor diagnosis at 15 years old was just a complete sucker punch out of nowhere. But I got so much help from friends and family, and like my high school adjusted my schedule and got me a tutor so I could still graduate on time, and people I barely knew were giving food and gifts and other support. So it really inspired me to want to give back and help as many people as I could, because I'd probably be dead if it wasn't for all the help that I got. And then in undergraduate school, as I was studying animation, there was a big student digital art and design competition I participated in, with a big screening at the end of like 1,000 people in this big auditorium. I knew maybe 10. But when everyone laughed at the joke of my animation, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I can connect with people and have a bigger impact with animation and storytelling. So after grad school, I started my company. We believe that when people work together, they can overcome any challenge. And despite our technological advancements, people feel more disconnected than ever. So by telling exceptional stories, we can reconnect people on an empathetic, emotional level and overcome the challenges facing the world. And that's why I started Squash and Stretch Productions.